I'm going to be sharing part 2 of working on this embroidery project. So this embroidery project is already complete. You'll be seeing part 3, which is the final part this upcoming Sunday. And then you're probably going to see me start another embroidery project here very soon because, as I said in part 1 to this project, I want to get all of the floral themed embroidery projects complete before we go into fall. And I thought I only had 2 left, but it turns out I actually have 3. So I'm definitely going to be doing a lot of embroidery on my channel here, along top of like book and journal content like I usually do. Now, I will say this, and I know that it's probably a little bit too early to be thinking about this for a lot of people, but if you're a person like me who is always thinking ahead to like, future seasons, that way you're like prepared, things like that, I am going to be doing a series of videos, I think in like the beginning of November. I want to say the beginning of November, where I'm going to be doing one video of like book related Christmas gift ideas, one video like journal / writing related Christmas gift ideas, and then one is going to be embroidery themed Christmas gift ideas. And the reason why I share those in advance is so that you obviously have like enough time to grab things for Christmas if that's something that you are wanting to do. And a little like side note for anyone out there who may be wanting to do an embroidery project as like a Christmas gift for someone, you might not want to wait until the last minute. You might want to start working on that type of stuff in advance. That way you have enough time, especially if you're a person that's very busy, or you're just like, you start a project and it might be a little bit more than you could handle, because I definitely felt that when I did the bookcase project, which is the bookshelf project, which is on my channel under my embroidery playlist. That project, I'm going to be honest, I should have started smaller and worked my way up to that, because I think the time that I started the project to when I just sat down and did the final parts of it, I think it was like a couple of months in between, or a month in between. I honestly cannot remember, but it was a long time, and that's because it made me very overwhelmed. As much as I liked the end result of it, I was very overwhelmed. So, little note, don't do what I did. Start small, work your way up, especially if you are new into like a craft like that. But like I said, if you are planning on doing something like this for a Christmas gift idea, you might want to start it sooner. That way you have enough time in case you make a mistake, or in case you get really busy with other things. That way you know for sure you'll have enough time to finish it before Christmas gets here. But yeah, so like I said, there's 3 other embroidery projects that I want to finish before we get into the fall season. And then one thing I'm going to probably start doing here soon is the punch needle. I forgot what that's called. I think it's called punch needle craft. I have either 1 or 2 kits of that. I've never done that before. I'm going to be completely honest. I'm a little scared to do that because I feel like that's going to be one of those projects that you can very seriously like aggravate your thumb doing. But I do want to try that soon. I don't know. I plan to make a video on it, but I don't know yet. That might be let me try one project first, and then I don't know. I'm thinking I might make a video, but that video may not be the best because I've never done that before. And I'm not going to lie, I'm a little nervous about that because I just am a little nervous about that, but it seems like a really fun craft, so we'll see how well that goes. But yeah, like I said, there's definitely going to be a lot of like embroidery on my channel here, again, because I'm going to try to finish those other embroidery projects before like fall gets here. I'm really excited to do the videos about like embroidery gift ideas, book Christmas gift ideas, journal Christmas gift ideas, etc. Because one of the things that I find really fun to watch during like the holidays is when you see people on the internet and they make videos where they're like, here are like 10 book Christmas gift ideas. And I watch them and I'm like, I've been an avid reader pretty much my entire life. I have booklights, I have all these different bookmarks. How did I not think of getting that one thing? How did I not think of getting that with journaling? How did I not think of getting all that stuff? And that's the reasons why I like it, because it's like my mom and I when we watch baking or cooking videos and there's this new gadget and we're like, how come we didn't think about that? How come we didn't think of that method of baking? How come we didn't think to try that idea? It's like in the garden. How come you didn't think to try that already? And it's just funny because you end up trying out different ideas that you just never thought of before. So I'm going to say this again, and I think I said this in part 1 of this project also. I did not like the colors of the project, so I just used the embroidery thread that I had separately. My mom got me like 3 packs of embroidery thread, and I just used colors in those because I was not into the colors that they had provided. And also, I looked back at the kit, like the picture of this project here, of what it was supposed to look like. There was definitely a lot more details in like the flowers, and like there was like veins in the leaves and things like that. And in all honesty, if you want to try to do that, go for it. But I was like, I'm just going to go ahead and make this my own. And I have a feeling the reason why I'm going to say this is I have a feeling that that could make someone annoyed. They could be like, why didn't you just follow the project? Because I like making things my own. And I personally prefer to do it. I like doing my own color palettes, and I just think it's really fun. But obviously, like, if you want to stick to the color palette, if you want to do it detail by detail the way it is on the packet, go for it. Everyone has free will and can do whatever it is that they want to do. I just chose to do it this way, and I'm really happy. I love how this turned out, which you're going to see on Sunday. But yeah, so part 1, I said I was just going to do all of the leaves, but I realized that was going to take me a while. So I just decided to do it in like chunks. So like the bottom chunk done, and then the second part I was going to do either the top right chunk or the top left chunk. And I was like, no. I tried to do that, and I was like, you know what, we're just going to go ahead and do the floral elements first, and then on the final video we're going to go ahead and get all of the leaf elements complete. And that just happens. And I will say this: if you're a person that gets overwhelmed with like more intricate detail in a project like this, do it step by step. So like one day do the floral elements, one day do the leaf elements, one day do that type of stuff. That way it's broken up into sections, and it's not as intimidating. Because when I did the bookcase project, what I did was I spent the first day doing the bookshelf and the plants, and then there was a lot of books on that, and I was gonna I think I was planning on doing like that actually in like one whole day, because I was just gonna sit down and do it in a whole day. That did not happen. But yeah, so from learned mistakes I've made, I would recommend just doing it one section at a time. Do one component at a time. That way, it's going to look sporadic. It's going to look like you kind of went all over the place with it, but the end result is obviously going to look very put together because you just chose to do it, that way. And I personally found that it was very easy to do. And I think that this project actually has way more leaf details than other embroidery projects I've done. This color green, I actually ended up using an entire little pack of green, like an individual little pack of green floss for the entire green element, which I could have used 2 different shades of green, or I could have done another shade of green, like maybe 3 in total, but I just chose to go ahead and do this one shade because I really, really liked this green, and I just wanted all the stems and the leaves to be this. But obviously you can do whatever it is that you want. I did think about going back and adding like the vein detail to the leaves, but I just liked it the way it was. And one little thing I actually did think about doing when I was done with the project was going back in and taking either some black thread or some white thread and doing borders to all of the flowers. And I was like, maybe I should do that. And then I was like, yeah, we're not going to do that because that's going to take me a long time, and I'm probably not even going to like the result because I just liked it the way it was. So I chose to not do that. And so we're getting to the end of part 2 here. And for anyone who's wondering, how long did it take you in total to do this project? I would say day 1 took me probably a good 2 hours. Day 2 took me probably a good 2 hours again. Day 3, maybe 2 hours again. I would say maybe in total 6 hours in total, or maybe 7. Like, I would say around that time. I really don't know. Like I said, I just did everything in parts, and I did edit everything down and speed everything up because I didn't want this video to be too long for the sake of my vocal cords. But I would definitely say, though, that, like I said, if you are planning on doing embroidery as a Christmas gift idea, I would start, like, possibly now if you can. That way, by the time December gets here, you're not just sitting there and doing a whole bunch of embroidery projects. I mean, if they're smaller ones, it may not be that difficult or that time consuming. But if you're doing a more detailed one, I would definitely recommend starting now, potentially. That way you have a good couple of months to get everything done and you don't feel overwhelmed. So this is it for part 2 of working on this. Like I said, you will be seeing part 3 on Sunday, and that is it for this project. I hope that this was relaxing to watch, and that is it for today's video.